Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Alzheimer. Whoa, I didn't even brush that side of my hair. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show. I am sick, and so I am being buoyed by cold medication. I just took a shower, which felt really good, but my energy is kind of meh. And but we still have to watch 16 millimeter films. We have so many films, and new ones show up all the time. So these are a bunch of films that were from the Orgone archive that were scanned, and they left them with us. They gave them to us. So they're ours now. So this first film is Community Ecology. Enjoy.
In any human community, we find people with certain kinds of jobs or roles. Policemen and housewives, clerks and children, students and grocers. Each has a special job or place in the community. Each person is part of his particular community because he depends on the others in some way. Each has a certain niche in his community. Natural communities, too, are organized according to the niches of the many different living organisms. Take the pine forest, for example. Each organism in the community occupies a niche according to the role it plays, forming what the ecologist calls a biotic community. The primary source of energy on Earth is the sun. Green plants convert the sun's energy into the organic matter that all organisms must have to live. In most biotic communities, certain plants provide the main food energy and set the character of the community. Such plants are called the dominant plants. Here, the pine trees are the dominant plants. They determine what kinds of other organisms can live here. The pine trees are called the primary food producers, but other green plants in this community also serve as food producers. All the other organisms, large and small, are consumers that depend on the food producers. Here is one kind of plant eater, or herbivore. Herbivores are specially adapted for feeding on plants. Herbivores are eaten in turn by other animals, the primary carnivores. The aphis lion competes with the ladybird beetle for a diet of aphids. Primary carnivores serve as food for secondary carnivores, such as this bird. Carnivores are usually larger and fiercer than their prey, and fewer in number. Some animals occupy more than one niche. Bears, for example, can be either herbivore or carnivore, depending on whether they find berries or fish to eat. Some organisms live by feeding on others without killing them. This is the niche of the parasites. Almost every living thing is subject to some form of parasite. All organic matter, living or dead, eventually serves as food for some organism. Dead organic matter, such as this fallen tree, is being eaten by scavengers. Termites occupy the niche of the scavenger in this rotting log. In the log live other scavengers, ants and millipedes, which feed on dead organic matter in the vicinity. The activities of these scavengers break down the log for organisms of another niche, the decomposers. The decomposers may be bacteria, yeasts, or this mold. These organisms convert organic matter into simpler substances, which can be used by green plants in their growth and in the making of food, thus making it available for another food energy cycle. Other communities may have different kinds of organisms, but the basic niches always remain the same. Grass is the dominant food producer here, giving the community its name, the grassland. Then what eats the grass? Cattle have replaced the bison that were once the largest herbivores on the grasslands of North America. Among the smaller herbivores are the insects. It takes a great many herbivores, such as grasshoppers, to feed one primary carnivore, such as a bird. Each niche contains a larger number of individuals than the niche that eats it. This numerical relationship is called a pyramid of numbers. Grass is eaten by the grasshopper. The grasshopper is eaten by the frog. The frog is eaten by the snake. The snake is eaten by the hawk. This is called a food chain. Because the hawk has no larger predators, it is called the top carnivore in its food chain. There are many food chains in a community. Here is another. Grass is eaten by the rabbit. The rabbit is eaten by the fox. Because it eats other animals too, the fox is a link in several food chains. The fox is a top carnivore in this food chain, yet it is attacked by organisms of another niche, the parasites. The complex of all the food chains in a community is called a food web. Since there is dead organic matter, we know there will be scavengers. Flies and beetles occupy that niche here. Bacteria and fungi occupy the niche of decomposers. They convert the organic matter into substances that green plants can use as food, forming the basis for the cycle of matter and energy of the community, with its many niches and its food web. Here on the California coast is a different community, the intertidal community. Let us see how the niches are filled here. We can begin by asking the ecologists questions. What is the primary food producer? Is it the mussel? Is it the starfish? Is it the barnacle? Of all the organisms that together form this community, which are the herbivores? Which are the carnivores? Which are the scavengers? The primary food producers here are microscopic single-celled plants called algae. Feeding on algae are myriads of tiny copepods. They occupy an important niche. Can you name it? Copepods serve as food for small fish. The niche? Smaller fish are eaten by larger fish. The sea anemone is another kind of secondary carnivore. The dead fish is eaten by the crab. What niche does the crab occupy? What place does the octopus have in its food chain? And what eats the seagull? The dead seagull is eaten by scavengers. Most biotic communities are complex. Yet in any community, the same questions can be asked. What are the primary food producers? What niche does each organism occupy? You can ask these questions wherever you are, whether you are in a desert, whether you are in a tropical rainforest, or whether you are in the community where you live.
There's a nice leader lady at the end. Beautiful footage, as someone said in the comments. Yeah. And this is part of that series, that weird series where there's no music as an intro or an outro. I think that was like a early 60s or mid 60s thing that Encyclopedia Britannica was doing, where they're like, we don't need music. No, we're good. Okay, this next film is missing the title, but I still love it. And the reason why I love it is because it is about audiovisual technology, and seems especially useful because back in October, when I did a keynote address at the Bastard Film Encounter, I used an overhead projector. And so this film resonates with me. It's very splicey at the beginning, but the color's beautiful, and it explains why overhead projectors, now more than ever, are so important to us.
The overhead projector has proved to be an effective visual aid to learning in many teaching situations. In business and industry, in the military service, and in higher is due largely to its effective use of good teaching techniques in class situations. It enlarges the material on the screen so that everyone in the class is able to read it easily. Normal room lights can be left on when the projector is in use, making it easier for the students to take notes. During the presentation, the instructor is able to remain in the front of the room facing the class. Because he also serves as the projectionist, he can control the rate of development of the material and can vary the presentation both orally and visually. Page of the projector turns on the light and focuses the lens by turning the focusing knob. This schematized diagram shows how the image of the material is projected onto the screen. The light leaving the projector bulb is reflected by a mirror and passes through the materials on the horizontal stage. It then passes through the focusing lens and is reflected by another mirror onto the screen. When the projector is used in the center of the room with the picture elevated on the screen, some distortion known as keystoning may occur. This can be corrected by tilting the screen until the picture assumes a normal appearance again. A similar effect is caused by projecting from the side of the room. For illustration purposes, we shall lower the image on the screen to eliminate any distortion. The type of materials to be used on the overhead projector may be either transparent, translucent, or opaque in nature. Transparent acetate is available in clear sheets and in a variety of colors. Frosted acetate is a good translucent medium. Materials such as a piece of writing paper are opaque and will not transmit light. Many types of presentations can be made using all three types of materials. They may be prepared before class begins, or they may be developed by the instructor as he teaches. For instance, a theme which has been typed on a specially coated sheet can be placed on the stage for examination and discussion. Transparent plastic or acetate may be laid on top of the theme to avoid marking directly on the material. A China marking type of pencil produces a good opaque image for this purpose. Errors are easily erased with a dry cloth. A copy of the material on clear acetate will provide even more contrast in the projected image. Colored drawings are often used effectively to create interest in the presentation. The drawings may be as elaborate or as simply done as time and ability permit. Colored pencils, crayons, and plastic base inks may be used for these drawings, depending upon the instructor's preference. Clear acetate is the best medium for use with ink. Materials developed during class should be simple in form and as easy as possible to read and understand. The use of color helps to unify various sections of the drawing and adds to its attractiveness as well. Crayons and colored pencils show up well when used on specially treated translucent sheets. Clear acetate is also available in rolls. When installed on the projector, the roll may be used for an entire presentation or for several presentations. The material may be developed in two ways. For example, it may be written by the instructor as he lectures, adding spontaneity to the presentation. If a great deal of material is to be presented, previously prepared information may be included as well. In this way, the roll reduces the time needed for writing during class and allows the instructor to present more material in a shorter length of time. When completed, the material may be rolled ahead. The normal black and white relationship of the projected image may be reversed by the use of a carbon-coated plastic sheet. As the stylus is drawn across the sheet, it removes the carbon and produces a white tracing. This technique often lends a very dramatic quality to the presentation. The white images produced in this manner show up well when projected on a chalkboard. In this case, a grid work is used as a guide for making graphs. If a mistake is made, the chalk can be erased without disturbing the grid. This is an example of the versatility of the projector when it is used in conjunction with other teaching aids. X-ray films are a type of black and white transparency and may be projected. Enlarging the image for group showings greatly facilitates the presentation of this type of information. Variety and interest can be added to a presentation on the projector through the use of opaque materials. In this illustration, construction paper was used for making silhouettes of Civil War caps and cannons to represent opposing sides in a battle. By moving them around, the progress of the battle can be shown. Colored acetate is used for accent. A colored sheet contributes to the mood and interest of the entire transparency. Distinctions in color as well as in the shape of the cutout models are often helpful. Maneuverability is one of the advantages of this technique. Contrasting color adds emphasis when needed. The overlay technique is an interesting way to present material. This type of transparency generally consists of a basic drawing and several clear acetate sheets. Each of the sheets contains additional drawings which, when laid on top of the basic drawing, add to the development of the illustration. Color helps to isolate and emphasize the area of discussion. While some transparencies may use only 2 or 3 overlays, others may use as many as 6 or 8. And, as is true of most materials used on the projector, the instructor may control the rate of development to suit his delivery. A particular advantage of the overlay technique is that entire sections of the drawing may be removed or replaced for review or contrast as the instructor desires. Many demonstrations may be performed on the overhead projector. These are Polaroid filters. When pressure is applied to materials such as plexiglass, the polarized light reveals the stress marks within the material. In this way, one demonstration may be performed so that the entire class can observe it at the same time, rather than having to repeat it for a number of groups. Another application of polarized light involves this motor-driven Polaroid disc, which is placed over the projector lens. The disc is used in combination with strips of polarized tape, which are placed on the acetate sheet of an overlay. When the disc rotates, the drawing is not affected, but when the polarized tape covers the drawing, the appearance of movement is obtained. The tape may also be placed so that the movement appears to be in the opposite direction. Devices such as this transparent slide rule have been designed to help the instructor present specialized information. The problem is written on an acetate sheet. The convenient size of the rule makes it easy for the instructor to manipulate the device. The most important feature of the rule, of course, is that it functions exactly as a standard slide rule does, and simple operations can be performed using its scales. An example of a more complex device is this working model of a signal generator. Here, many parts are seen functioning at the same time. The relationship of the parts and their movements can be more easily explained and discussed because the instructor is able to repeat the cycle as often as necessary. Even chemical reactions can be shown on the overhead projector. By shining a light through the side of a test tube and reflecting the image from a mirror through the projector lens onto the screen, the vertical view of a reaction can be observed. Many other interesting demonstrations can be shown on the projector when the instructor stops to consider the possibilities. Transparencies may be projected onto a sheet or piece of muslin for backgrounds for plays. The actors may perform in front of the setting or behind it if a shadow effect is desired. The following sequence is a visual interpretation of a ballet using transparencies. The artist has skillfully used transparent, translucent, and opaque materials to augment his impressions. There are many ways to teach with the overhead projector. The progressive instructor will find that it is truly a versatile and effective aid to learning.
Whoa, that was awesome. Yes, we got into the weeds. Excuse me, we dug deep in that, talking about the overhead projector, but man, towards the end, that was awesome. And of course, as we know, there was a whole liquid light show thing that was done in the 60s and 70s with transparencies and oil and water and different types of liquids to kind of create these hippy-dippy things that would play during bands. And I feel like I saw a performance. It was I think it was pre-COVID, but it was basically these performers who did shadow puppets with overhead projectors, and they had multiple ones, and they did everything. It was really great. So don't count out the overhead projector yet. It's still pretty great. Okay, this next film is this is part of the Agency for Instructional Television, the same people who did Inside Out and Self-Incorporated. They did another series called Give or Take, and we had John Ullman who I think was talking about some of these, but I don't know if this is one that he made or not. Maybe his name will pop up in the credits, but this is Private or Public. Enjoy.
The following is presented by the Joint Council on Economic Education and the Canadian Foundation for Economic Education.
All right, everybody. We don't have much time for this meeting, so if everybody will take a seat, we can get started. We have to make a very important decision today. According to the results of our poll, cleaning up the vacant lot and making it into a student park was the most popular class project idea by 2 to 1.
Has anyone talked to Mr. Hanley yet? He owns that lot, you know.
Not yet, but I can't imagine why he wouldn't let us clean it up. The place is a mess.
Besides, he's not using it. He gets his property fixed up for free, and we get a place to eat outside, other than the front steps.
I agree, Raphael, but I think Graham has a point. Someone has to talk to Mr. Hanley before we announce a project to the school. I'll be happy to go this afternoon if someone else will come with me.
Raphael and I'll go with you, Holly. If we don't get this project going right away, we won't have it ourselves before school's out.
Okay, that ends the meeting for today. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time, and we'll tell you the results of our meeting with Mr. Hanley. So, all right, I'll call Mr. Hanley, make an appointment with him, and we'll go see him after school.
Yeah, do you need to meet you up there after school?
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
See you later.
I've owned that lot for years, and I've never been able to figure out what to do with it. So, I suppose if you kids are really willing to clean it up, you can use it for a student park.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hanley.
You won't regret it, sir. We'll make it a place you can be proud of.
We can even name it Hanley Park if you'd like.
It won't be necessary. But you've got to keep the noise down. I don't want folks in the neighborhood to be bothered.
We will, we will. Thank you, Mr. Hanley.
Come on, you guys, smile.
Boy, was that a job and a half.
Yep, it sure was worth it. No more eating lunch on the front steps.
I just hope people will want to use it.
I hate oranges. Here's an orange, Victor. There you go.
I don't believe it. This place is really getting popular.
A lot of these people aren't even students. How'd they find out about this place?
Word gets out, I guess. There's Raphael. Let's go sit with him.
Yeah. We're lucky to get a seat these days.
What bothers me is that half the people here didn't do one thing to help us clean up this lot. We paid for all the cleanup stuff and we did all the work.
Well, if we have to clean up after all these people, we'll never get the work done. Maybe we should put up a sign saying, this area is for students only.
I'm not sure we can. This is Mr. Hanley's lot, and only he can exclude people.
Yeah, well, if it gets any noisier, he may decide to exclude us along with everyone else. I don't think we can complain to him.
What if we go to the city? Try to talk Mayor Blount into buying this lot from Mr. Hanley. Then the city could help us maintain it as a public park. The city would pay to clean the place up instead of us.
Say, you young folks deserve a lot of congratulations. You've done a mightily fine job here.
Thank you, Mr.
Dalloway. Nicholas, you can call me Nick Dalloway. Yeah, I've been coming by here at lunchtime for a couple weeks now, and I gotta say it, I'm impressed. It's the hottest little lunch spot in town.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Converting the lot into a park was our class project.
Really? Well, it was a grand idea. But I gotta say it, I'm a little envious.
Why, Mr. Dalloway?
I wish I'd thought of it. Well, I gotta get back to work. I just thought I'd come by, give credit where credit was due. See ya.
He seemed like a nice man.
Maybe.
That's a tempting offer, Dalloway. I guess the kids cleaning up that lot was to my advantage. You're the only offer I've had in years.
Well, Mr. Hanley, you just name your price. As far as I'm concerned, setting up a Raleigh's trolley on that piece of property will be the best investment I ever make. The place was made for the fast food concession business.
I don't know, Dalloway.
Gordon, I'm gonna be providing jobs for some of those students. Raleigh's Trolleys makes cheap, nutritious food. And on top of that, I'm gonna be taking over a tax burden on a vacant lot that you've been carrying for years.
Those kids would really be disappointed.
I know, but you think about it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
In other words, you want the city to buy Mr. Hanley's lot and to maintain it as a public park.
That's right, Mayor Blount. We fixed the lot up, but now it's become so popular, we're having a hard time keeping it clean.
And we're also afraid that Mr. Hanley may shut us down if it starts getting too noisy.
Buying that lot may not be too easy. That's why I've asked our city planner, Miss Bortnick, here to join us. She's our expert on goods and services provided by government.
Can the city buy our park, Miss Bortnick? A lot of people besides students are using it now, and we just don't think it's fair that we should do all the work of maintaining it.
Well, shared consumption is one aspect of public goods. As long as one person's using it, doesn't prevent someone else from using it, there is a case for government provision. But there's also another aspect of public goods, non-exclusion. Most public goods cannot exclude people who don't pay directly.
If we put up a street light, for example, we can't use it to let some people see better than others. Once the light is up, anyone that passes by can see better.
And one person seeing better doesn't make the light less useful to others who can see better too. It's also shared consumption.
You've got it.
But what's this got to do with our park?
If the city buys the park, we couldn't exclude people from using it. A private owner can exclude people, but the city can't.
So you can buy it.
We'd have to make a study of the costs and benefits first. Then there'd have to be a public hearing. Then the city council and the taxpayer would have to vote on it. It's a long process.
We'll have graduated by then.
Not that long. But the city has limited tax revenue. Buying their land would not only cost us the money that we paid to purchase it, but we would lose the property taxes we now collect from Mr. Hanley. And it would have to be maintained at public expense. And I'm just not sure how much support there is for this public park of yours.
And we're already under a lot of pressure to repair the roads and get more police cars.
And we're really in a tight spot as a result of the mosquito spraying last summer. We may have to do it again this year.
Well, why don't you let people spray their own mosquitoes? If they want to get rid of them, they can pay for it directly.
I'm afraid that's not practical, Graham. In order to be effective, every place has to be sprayed. If only some people spray, then the mosquitoes from the unsprayed areas would spread and infect all over. It's shared consumption and non-exclusion again. Here we have both. There is no effective way to keep the mosquitoes away from only those people who are willing to pay. Once they're eliminated, everyone benefits, whether they pay for it or not.
Yes?
4 o'clock appointment is here, sir.
All right, thank you. Well, thank you for coming by. I'll give your proposal some thought, and I'll let you know about it in a few days.
We look forward to hearing this.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
What are we going to do now?
Well, nice seeing you again.
Hello, Mr. Dalloway. Why, you must be Mayor Blount's 4 o'clock appointment.
Sure am. I'm here to see him about that little park you kids built. I found that the zoning regulations make it okay for me to buy it, so I'm gonna put a little fast food trolley on there for all the students. What do you think of that?
If you buy it and put up a Raleigh's trolley, we can't eat our lunch there anymore.
Well, sure you can, if you buy it from me. Folks who buy their lunch from my trolley can use the whole park. Of course, I'm gonna have to exclude others. I mean, I'm running a private business here, not a public convenience. Besides, I can give you some jobs. Nice seeing you again. Let's go talk to Mr. Hanley and see if we can convince him not to sell.
Yeah, good idea. Let's go.
I wish I could give you a definite answer, but I'm afraid it's not that simple. You see, if I decide to sell that lot, I might want to sell it to the highest bidder. Now, whether that's Nick Dalloway or the city or someone else entirely, who can say?
This place is becoming a zoo.
At least we can still use it.
Not for long. Maybe we should get Miss Bortnick and Mayor Blount down here tomorrow. Show them how popular the park is with everyone, not just students.
And show them how important it is this place be publicly owned.
Well, I guess we'd better clean up because no one else will.
All right, let's get at it.
See, Mr. Mayor, Miss Bortnick, people really care what happens to this park. Save our park! 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 Save our park!
We fixed up this lot and we should be allowed to use it. The citizens of this town want a public park. Share and share alike. That's what I say.
Now, you listen to me, young man. You're talking about using other people's money. The city will lose tax revenue if they buy this lot. Well, as a taxpayer, why should my money be used to buy a park for you?
Your taxes pay for roads that you don't drive on.
Well, roads have external benefits. They are used to deliver food and other things. You can benefit from a road even if you don't use it. How do I benefit if you get a free park?
Well, now.
You can still use this park if you buy your food at Raleigh's trolley.
And we can if we don't.
Easy for you to say. I'm looking for a job with Dalloway.
Well, what should we do now?
The content for Give and Take was developed with funds from a consortium of 45 state and provincial education agencies. Other funds were provided by these corporations and foundations. Additional support was provided by the Office of Consumers Education, U.S. Department of Education. This program was produced by Bradshaw McLeod and Associates Limited for the Alberta Communications Corporation Educational Services under the supervision of AIT, the Agency for Instructional Television.
Wow, that list of corporations at the end. Polluter, 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 poisoner, polluter, polluter. Oh, well. That was the 80s. Wow, fascinating film. And of course, like many of the films made by AIT, there's not an ending. We have to sort through the debris of what we learned. But man, whoo, so Canadian. So very, very Canadian. All right, one last film, and then I'm going to go to bed. There's a series of these. It's called The Earth and Its Peoples. And so we've been showing different ones, and this one is Mountain Farmers. It takes place in Switzerland. Enjoy.
The Republic of Switzerland is a land in the Alpine who live in valleys surrounded by high snow-capped mountains. The mountain peaks look down on slopes where every possible bit of land is used for farming. The streams which flow down our mountain slopes are fed by the melting snow. Water power is one of our country's few natural resources and is used to make enough electricity for all our wants. Our two mountain chains, the High Alps and the Lower Jura, are cut by valleys, one of which is the Emmental. It is a broad and rich farming valley. This valley is divided into small farms of not more than 15 acres each. The countryside is hilly, so it's difficult to use farm machinery. Early in the spring, when the animals are still in the barns, fresh grass to feed them is cut every day. This is one of the many jobs of Swiss farm boys like Karl Hofer. The Emmental Valley is famous for its dairy products. Hay for cattle is a common crop, but rye is also grown, as well as barley, wheat, and potatoes. Even though the small fields are farmed carefully, they don't yield enough. Farmer Hofer must buy extra feed for his livestock and some additional grain for meal and flour. The Hofer farmhouse is very old and the barn is attached, so this makes it easy to get to the cattle when the snow is deep. The roof is high and steep to let the snow slide off. Our mountain farmers live simply. They depend on themselves as much as they can. Carl's mother makes bread with flour ground from homegrown grain. Each one in the family does a share of the work around the farm. Carl's sister, Gretel, takes care of the chickens. The cattle are kept in the barn until late spring. Our fields are more valuable to us for raising crops than for grazing animals. When the weather grows warm, the cows are driven to pasture in the mountains. The day the cattle are moved to the high pastures is a holiday. Every family has special cowbells for this occasion. The parade of animals from the farms is led by a bull decorated with spring flowers. As the procession moves toward the mountains, herds from one farm after another join the parade. The high pastures are called Alps, like the mountains themselves. All summer long, the cows graze on the short grass under the care of an old herdsman who is hired by the farmers from the village. The bells worn in the parade are not used again until the cows return in the fall. During the summer, fresh milk cannot be carried from the high pastures to the towns below. For this reason, the herdsman makes it into cheese, and at the end of the season gives each farmer his share. In their spare time, the herdsmen make wood carvings which are sold to tourists as souvenirs. The same care that goes into a simple wood carving goes into everything we Swiss make. While the cattle are feeding in the mountain pastures, the crops are scattered throughout the valley. From their teachers, learn that Switzerland is divided into 4 different regions. Each has its own custom, and each speaks a different language. In the largest region, the people speak German. In one part of the Jura Mountains, French. In the southeast, an old language called Romansh. And in the extreme south, Italian. In Italian Switzerland, the houses are like those in northern Italy. Here, the climate is mild. As in Italy, the farmers raise olives, grapes, and corn. The thin soil makes farming difficult, and the people are helped with money spent by tourists who come to enjoy the warm sunshine. The towns have Italian names, and the signs and road markers are in Italian. In the southeast is the section called the Engadine. Because it is high in the mountains, the houses are built of thick stone to keep out the cold in winter. Centuries ago, Roman armies crossed the mountain passes of the Engadine on their way to Central Europe. Inscriptions welcoming travelers are in Romansh, which comes from the old Latin spoken by the Roman soldiers. In western Switzerland, bordering France and Germany, is our French-speaking section. Here, farmers save their rainwater to use in the house because the surface streams often dry up in the summer. Grains and vegetables grow in the fertile soil, and cattle raising and dairying are important. French is the language of the region, and the customs of the people resemble those of nearby France. Fine horses are bred on the grassy slopes of the Jura Mountains. Even though we have 4 different languages, we Swiss live together peacefully in our mountainous country. In the Emmentaler Valley, the people speak German. Although the words are pronounced differently than in Germany, the written language is the same. The 4 sections of Switzerland are linked together by good roads and well-run electrified railroads. Farmer Hofer makes one shopping trip to the village every week, and usually his first stop is at the flour mill. Because each farmer in the community owns a share of the mill, it is called a cooperative. The bags of grain are marked with each farmer's name. Although we grow a lot of grain in Switzerland, There is never enough, and we must buy large amounts from the United States and other countries. The village mill has modern machines to grind the grain into flour for baking. The heavy old millstones are now used only for making cattle feed. From the flour mill, it is only a short drive to the center of the village. When a farmer's horse needs new shoes, he takes it to the blacksmith. Mr. Smith is also village mayor, and the people have elected him to office. Our country is one of the oldest democracies in the world. Another cooperative owned by the farmers sells machinery, seeds, sprays, and fertilizers. These cooperative stores help our farmers save money on things they need to buy. Near the edge of the village is the lumber mill, where logs are cut into boards. Because we conserve our forest, there is plenty of lumber in the Emmental. Like most Swiss factories, the mill is run by electricity. We have no coal in Switzerland, and our electricity for power and light is made cheaply by the water that falls down from the mountains. On his day in town, Farmer Hofer tries to finish his errands in time to give his children a ride home from school. Carl's grandfather and grandmother live in the small cottage behind the big farmhouse. Nearly everything the Hofers eat has been raised on their own land. Vegetables, milk, butter, cheese, eggs, even meat. In the harvest season, other children from the village often come to help the Hofers. On days like these, Carl's mother has to work very hard to feed so many people. During the haying, everyone works from early in the morning until late at night. The barns must be filled with enough hay to last all winter long before the cows are brought down from the mountains and the cold weather begins. In the winter months, the Emmental Valley, like most of Switzerland, is covered with snow. Around the Hofer's farm, there are drifts so deep that everyone must work indoors, either in the house or barn. The cows are milked twice a day, early in the morning and at night. Carl and his father strap on milking stools to do their chores. In winter, Mr. Hofer sends his milk to the cheese factory in the village. Our country is noted for many kinds of cheese. The cheese factory, like the mill and the trading cooperative, is owned by all the farmers in the neighborhood. When milk is brought in, it is weighed and the amount is marked down beside the farmer's name. To make cheese, milk is heated and a preparation called rennet is added to make it curdle. As the curdled milk is stirred slowly and evenly, it becomes thicker and thicker. The cheesemaker knows exactly when it has been stirred enough. Before it has time to cool and harden, the soft cheese is pressed into a wooden frame. After it has hardened, it must be stored to ripen. Emmental cheese is shipped all over the world. The cheesemakers are experts at telling when each wheel is ripe enough. They test each cheese by tapping it with their fingers. Our country is also famous as a great playground. Electric trains take visitors to towns and villages high in the Alps. In both summer and winter, thousands of travelers come to our mountain resorts. Our country is often called the land of winter sports. Everyone who comes to Switzerland, whether in summer or winter, carries away with him the memory of our country's great beauty. Many come to ski on the high mountain slopes where they may be towed up to the starting point. Visitors spend large sums of money and the tourist industry is an important source of income. The Hofers spend their winter holidays on the farm. At Christmas and New Year's, they have a party with a special dinner made of all the good things they have raised during the year. The Emmental region. Our land is small and our climate often severe, but we make good use of everything we have, even our mountains. In our valleys during spring and summer, we grow food for ourselves and our livestock. The snow feeds our mountain streams, which make electricity for our villages and cities. The tourists who visit us help make our nation prosperous. Although we speak different languages and have different customs, we live and work together peacefully in the mountainous country of Switzerland.
So do I have Ricola cough drops handy? I do. I was looking for them to see because that kept coming up in the comments. They're not, I think they're old though, so they're all squishy. I don't know if you ever had that with cough drops where they get squishy. Anyhow, thanks for watching today. Nathan, thank you for the donation via the Super Thanks button. Other ways you can support us is by giving us a thumbs up, a like. Yeah, your comments brighten my day. But I'm going to crash out because I'm trying to shake this cold. Because what happens is if I get a cold and it gets into my chest, then I have bronchitis for 3 weeks. And that's no fun. No fun. So here's a question. There's a film I really want to show, which is called Heart Sounds. And it's basically a cross-section of an actual heart, probably a mammal heart that's not human. And you get to see the sounds that it makes, but you also get to see the heart. Is that too grisly and gory for a lunchtime show? Because it is fascinating footage. It is really something. So let me know in the comments what you think if we should show that. Because we were watching it the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something else. But it is gross. So, all right, everybody. Anyhow, love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Everybody take care.